Recorded Books presents a sci-fi audio production, Starbound, by Joe Haldeman. This unabridged recording is narrated by Annie Hank, George Guedel, and Jefferson Mays, and directed by Abigail McHugh. This book is copyrighted 2010 by Joe Haldeman. This recording is copyrighted 2010 by Recorded Books. Sci-Fi Audio is an imprint dedicated exclusively to science fiction and fantasy titles on CD, from classics to bestsellers, cult hits to critically acclaimed award winners. And now, Starbound.
Part 1. The Seed. Chapter 1. Nativity Scene. An hour after my children were born, we went up to the new lounge to have a drink. You couldn't have done any of that on the Mars I first knew, 11 years ago. No drink, no lounge, no children. Least of all, children born with the aid of a mother machine, imported from Earth. All of it courtesy of free energy, borrowed energy, whatever they wind up calling it. The mysterious stuff that makes the Martians' machines work. And is, incidentally, wrecking Earth's economies, which had to be wrecked anyhow and rebuilt to deal with the others. But right now, I had two gorgeous new babies, born on Christmas Day. You could call the girl Christina, Oz suggested helpfully, and the boy Jesus. Oz is sort of my godfather, the first friend I made in Mars, and sometimes it's hard to tell when he's joking. I was thinking Judas and Jezebel myself, Paul said. Husband and father. Would you two shut up and let me bask in the glow of motherhood? The glow of the setting sun, actually. In this new transparent dome, looking out over the chaos of construction to the familiar ochre desert that was more like home now than any place on Earth. It wasn't much like conventional motherhood, since it didn't hurt, and I couldn't pick up or even touch the little ones yet. On their birthday, they were separated from the machine's umbilicals and began to ease into real life. As close to real life as they would be allowed to experience for a while. Josie, Oz's love, broke the uncomfortable silence. Try to be serious, Oswald. She gave Paul a look, too. A bell dinged, and our drinks appeared on a sideboard. Paul brought them over, and I raised mine in a toast. Here's to what's her name and what's his name. We do have another week. Actually, there was no law or custom about it yet. These were the first, numbers 1 and 2 in a batch of 6. The only twins. Children born naturally in Mars hadn't done well. They all got the lung crap, Martian pulmonary cysts, and if they were born too weak, they died, which happened almost half the time. When it was linked to an immune system response in the womb in the 3rd trimester, they put a temporary moratorium on natural births and had the mother machine sent up from Earth. Paul and I had won the gamete lottery, along with 4 other couples. For all of us, the sperm and ova came from frozen samples we'd left on Earth, away from the radiation bath of Mars. I felt a curious and unpleasant lightness in my breasts, which were now officially just ornaments. None of the new children would be breastfed. None of them would suffer birth trauma either, at least in the sense of being rammed through a wet tunnel smaller than a baby's head. There might be some trauma in suddenly having to breathe for oneself, but so far, none of them had cried. That was a little eerie. They wouldn't have a mother. I wouldn't be a mother, in any traditional sense, only genetically. They'd be raised by the colony, one big extended family, though most of the individual attention they got would be from Alfonso Jefferson and Barbara Manchester, trained to run the creche, about to more than double in population. My wine was too warm and too strong, made with wine concentrate, alcohol, and water. They look okay, but I can't help feeling cheated. Josie snorted. Don't. It's like passing a loaf of hard bread. Not so much the birth itself as being pregnant. Is that weird? Sounds weird to me, Paul said. Sick all the time.